Welcome back to episode 10 of the Married with Media podcast. I am your host, Michelle.
Now I'm your co-host, Ken.
Yeah,
Episode 10, huh?
Episode 10.
We did it.
We are back again after taking another break.
Just a week.
This without, putting ourselves on blast. This is our second time missing a weekly episode. But, we always come back around.
Did we promise weekly episodes when we initially started?
Well, I think that's always the goal. But, we'll just blame it on Easter this time.
Yeah, blame it on Easter.
We had a very busy Easter. Had lots of family time. And, after that, it was just, not a lot of time to film. So I feel like if we don't get it done on Sunday or Saturday, the week just quickly escapes us, and then we're like, we might as well wait until next weekend and give it another.
Like Monday through Friday is like all hands on deck and work, come home, dinner, kids stuff, and go to bed.
Yeah,
so pretty much it.
And maybe squeeze in, something to watch, but
a show, a movie here and there.
Yeah. But we're back for episode 10, baby. And I know before we hit record, you said that if 10 is all we do, we made it to 10.
Hey, milestone. You got to celebrate the milestones,
Right. For sure. So, as always, we're going to, first of all, make sure you like this video.
Yeah.
If you're not watching on YouTube, make sure to, like it or heart it or whatever it is on the streaming services, streaming platforms. Leave a comment, share it, all the good things that helps support our channel or whatever you want to call this. So we're going to do a little housekeeping, if you will.
Yeah.
A little update on us and just kind of like our headspace right now, currently. And, if you've been around for any time at all, you know that things are always changing around here. And, sometimes we have things that we want to do and they never happen. Sometimes we'll randomly just do something that we may have not even talked about. But that's just kind of how we roll around here.
Yeah, we did finally get that 1985 video out there, though.
We did.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we'll put that in the rotation as far as covering some, different years. Okay, so I think that I just kind of wanted to talk about, so at this point, you will have not seen it yet, but I did do like a little post on our, what do you call it? The community tab or whatever.
Yeah,
so I really enjoy doing vlog videos. And so I thought it would be fun. This is nothing new to Ken. He's done lots of like thrifting videos or hunts or whatever you want to call them.
We've done them too in the past. I mean, our Halloween.
Yeah.
What is it called? Spirit Halloween. I was going to say Halloween Express, but we've done videos there. We've done videos at Big Lots before.
Yeah, I just consider those more of like shopping vlogs.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to do like a thrifting style. Thrifting I feel like is very big right now.
I do those as well.
Yeah. So, you've gone to your share of Goodwills and half price books and all that kind of stuff, but Peddler's Mall, all that kind of stuff.
You probably like the Peddler's Mall. There's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah. It probably has more of what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I just want to try to incorporate more vlogs on our channel. I do feel like people enjoy those. They're just more like personable. Is that a word? Personal. And I don't know, they're just fun to me, they're just like enjoyable to film. And so anyway, I thought it would be fun if we did some like maybe thrifting vlogs where we try to find some just like cool stuff related to media, whether it be movies or TV or video games, just stuff like that, nostalgic stuff that we grew up with, did I mention books? I don't know if I said, books, music, all that kind of stuff, because Married with media, like media is a lot of things.
Yeah.
And we enjoy all those things. So anyway, I would like to do some just like vlogs where we go out and just, check out new stores and see what all they've got. We've done our share. We've done quite a few like food themed videos. I really enjoy doing those, although Ken is currently tracking calories. So those might get a little tricky at this point.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a pretty, I don't know if you'd say a super hardcore diet, but
No. But pretty,
I am trying to
dedicated.
do the calorie deficits
Yeah.
diet, I guess is what you would call it.
Right.
I'm trying not to go over 2,000 calories every day.
Yeah.
And I've been walking every morning too.
I will say he has been killing it. Yeah, he's trying to, get his butt in shape before he hits his 40th birthday. So I'm proud of you. But so anyway, that's just kind of, be on the lookout for more of those style of videos, possibly. Obviously, we talk about this all the time and unfortunately have to use our children as excuses, but we do have children, and although they are, getting older, it still may be a little tricky for us to do these thrifting vlogs.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. Just kind of wanted to let you all know what to expect there. And
it feels more difficult to get things done as they get older.
You think?
That's weird, isn't it? It just felt easier when they were younger.
I'm not sure if that's true. I think maybe when they were younger, like we weren't doing our channel.
Well, no, I mean like not real young, but like I don't know, a few years ago it felt easier.
You think?
To do stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's just having children isn't for the faint of heart. But yeah, so anyway, I'm trying to think there was anything else. Also I feel like when we kind of started the channel, we used to talk a lot more about TV. And so I think that we want to try to get back into talking more about TV. And, currently The Last of Us is out. We haven't been super high on the show, but we have been watching season 2. And I mean, I think you're enjoying it more than I am. I'm not, I'm not like hating it by any means. I just feel like the show is like super easy to make fun of.
Yeah.
But
well, I think we both have different perspectives. I know we want to do a video on, as we're filming the 3rd episode, we haven't seen it. So we're going to do a video this week talking about the first 3 episodes.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the community as a whole is divided.
Yeah.
Like on the show right now too.
For sure. You have, the people who played the video game, they're very passionate about it. Some people think that they're doing it justice, and some people don't. And so anyway, we've said this many times. I never played the game, so I don't have that connection.
I played the first hour of the game,
right?
So I have very little knowledge or perspective,
right?
Other than what I hear people say.
Yeah. So, maybe be on the lookout for some, like you said, we kind of want to, since it is going to be on its 3rd episode now, we want to do just a quick, video about episodes 1 through 3. And then we were kind of thinking about maybe doing some like live reactions going forward.
Yeah.
Where, hopefully we can watch the episode.
Maybe
and
then not live, but like
no,
like little short videos, like 2-3 minutes, just giving our reaction after.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, just, be on the lookout for that if you're interested in, some TV talk, because, TV is a little bit easier for us to watch. Obviously the episodes are shorter than a movie usually. And so,
and I think like traditionally with us, like I feel like we've watched way more TV than we have movies together.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We've watched a lot of movies together, but
yeah,
we've also watched a ton of TV shows.
Yeah.
A ton.
Yeah. So, and then, depending on if there's any new, good shows coming out besides The Last of Us, maybe we'll chat about those. But anyway, is there anything else you can think of?
No.
Okay.
I think you covered it. Go check out our 1985 recommendation video.
Yeah, check that out. And I do plan on I did a little short of a little bit of our thrifting adventure. But we do have a like full vlog coming that I will have up this week. And then like we just said, we're going to have episodes 1 through 3 of The Last of Us. So that's what you can expect this week.
Yeah.
I do believe. Okay, let's see here. So we're just going to chat about some stuff that we've watched recently that we haven't made a video on. And then we'll get into some news.
Okay.
Sound good to you?
Yeah, this is just going to be a general news podcast video. I mean, that's kind of what we made this podcast, just whatever we want to talk about. So
super casual. Okay, so we chatted about this, I think you said last episode, but we had started the new season of Black Mirror, and we have since finished it up.
Yep.
I think it had 6 episodes?
Yes, 6 episodes.
6 episodes. And yeah, I think I feel like we're pretty much on the same page as far as it goes. But I think all in all, this was a pretty disappointing season.
I don't know. There's highs and lows. It got better for me as it got worse as it went on. Then it got better. It ended on a high note for me.
Okay.
There was a few episodes I liked. There was 3 episodes I liked, and there was 3 episodes I didn't like so much.
Okay. I was about to ask that, yeah.
It's pretty split. I still think for me, it's a step down from last season. I loved last season, but I also understand the criticism that last season really wasn't like in the spirit of what Black Mirror is supposed to be with the technology angle and all that. This was much more them going back to the technology stuff in every episode and the dangers of technology and all that. And that's fine. But I didn't think all the episodes were all that great.
Yeah.
So,
if I had to pick, I still think episode 1 was my favorite.
Episode 1 was solid. I like that one.
Yeah. What was yours? Was it the last one?
It was the USS Callister, Infinity Beyond. What was it called?
I don't know.
Beyond Infinity, I think. Yeah. That was my favorite one.
Okay.
And I really liked because that was the first ever, like, I guess, sequel segments of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to USS Callister, which was the first episode of episode 4 or of season 4. And I remember really liking that. So this was a sequel to that. And yeah, I don't know. I was into the story and I liked, I liked the setup and the payoff. And
yeah.
I don't know, cool.
What was your least favorite episode?
It's definitely the freaking Lemmings video game one. I hated that one.
Man, I did not hate that one. I did not hate that one like you did.
Oh, I hated it. And then Hotel Reverie was just so boring.
It really was.
So that was probably it wasn't awful. Like I saw like the artistic merit and value there. But it was just so boring. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
So
I did have it. So you had brought this up that you can actually rank the episodes on Letterboxd.
Yeah, well, I reviewed them. I didn't rank them.
I'm sorry, not rank them, rate them. I meant rate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, rate.
I don't think I got, no, I think I did rate them all. Maybe I did.
Okay, so it was called Plaything.
Yeah, that one sucked.
No.
That was horrible. And that was a spinoff of Bandersnatch, which was the Choose Your Own Adventure one that came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
I hated that.
I enjoyed the Plaything episode. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I feel like you didn't quite get it, or like you weren't paying enough attention to it.
Maybe, but
because like, weren't you tired when we were watching it?
Yeah.
Kind of like dozing off a little. I'm trying to think what was my least favorite.
I would say it's probably Hotel Reverie. If you like that one. Because the second episode, like that was okay, but they just didn't, like, they had an interesting premise, but they did probably the most uninteresting thing with it they could have done.
Yeah.
So that was the problem with that episode. And the Paul Giamatti one was pretty good. I like that one.
See, I don't know. I didn't care for that one very much either. Like the hotel one, the black and white one, and then the eulogy is what it's called. Yeah. Those were like pretty close and like my least enjoyment. I don't know. I feel like the eulogy one had a lot of potential, but I just don't feel like they executed it
I mean,
quite
Eulogy
right.
one was pretty much like a take on A Christmas Carol or something, just like him reliving like events and moments in his life and
Yeah.
how he's regretful of certain things that he did, and
Well,
also like changing the perspective of like we always feel like we're the hero of our own story, and then going back and seeing things from a different angle and perspective and realizing, oh, maybe I was wrong here. Like it wasn't this person that wronged me. Maybe I did something wrong to warrant that. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, I just don't feel like they executed it quite how I would have liked.
Yeah, I mean, look, no episode in this I don't think was great. Not even the one I liked, the sequel to USS Callister. I don't think it was great. So yeah, there was no greatness or any masterpiece in this season. In my opinion,
like some other seasons. Okay, so there's Black Mirror for you. Let's see. So we also watched One of Them Days on Netflix.
Yeah.
That has who? Kiki Palmer. Is that her name?
Kiki Palmer. Yeah.
And what's her name? The singer. Yeah, the singer. I don't even know if that's how you say it. SZA.
I think you might just say SCA, but I always call her Zah.
No, you say something.
Or I say always, like I talk about her all the time, but
right.
You had to tell me who she was and what she's saying.
Which I do enjoy her music. Like she's cool. But anyway, and I'm not sure if she's acted before, but like she was good in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd heard that this was good, and like I said, it's on Netflix now, and so we checked it out. It had some funny parts for sure. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be.
It goes a little off the rails in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely is going for just like a more silly approach.
The blood when she was given blood, like that whole scene was like kind of off for me, kind of out of nowhere. Felt like it didn't match the rest of the movie.
There's definitely some like outrageous scenes. Also in the beginning, there's like she's like in the restaurant and a guy like blows something up or something, and he like flies back and hits the wall. But the way that it's done is just like very silly looking.
Yeah.
And it like to me it felt out of place. I don't know. It just like wasn't. It almost felt more like a cartoonish explosion type of thing. Yeah. I don't know if you know what I mean.
But I think it was supposed to be, kind of goofy and
it was
at the top.
But yeah,
I enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah.
Felt like a throwback to like a 90s, early 2000s comedy. And
yeah,
I enjoyed it, even though it was pretty silly. And, it's just two girls that are trying to come up with
rent money.
So it's like it all takes place in the same day. So
I'm not like super knowledgeable on these movies, but would you say it like even still, like to me, it kind of had the vibes of like Good Friday or something?
Friday.
Okay.
Friday, next Friday. Yeah, like
it's next Friday is the second one.
Yeah, like a 90s, early 2000s, like black comedy. Like I like those movies.
Yeah.
They don't really make them a lot anymore. So I was into it. I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
Just because it gave me those feels and those vibes.
Yeah. And, again, I thought that both of the, actresses in it were funny. They were good together. So,
yep.
Okay, let's see here. And then I'm just looking at my little notepad here on my phone. So then we watched something super, uplifting and feel good. Not. Also on Netflix, and it was the bombing of Oklahoma City.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Is that what it was called? Like the bombing of Oklahoma City or
the Oklahoma City bombing?
Something like that.
I think it's called American Terror or something. Terror in America, the Oklahoma City bombing. But it's a new documentary on Netflix. Came out last weekend for the 30th anniversary.
That's right. Yeah, you had brought up, I love me a good documentary for sure, depending on what it's about. But you had brought it up, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and watch it. But I mean, it was quite sad. I got super, super emotional. If you don't know, like with the bombing in the building, there was a daycare, and pretty much all of the children died. And so they had a mom that they were, that was in this documentary, and she had lost her son. And just like hearing her talk, it makes me want to cry talking about it. It was just super sad. Like, I can't imagine taking your kid to daycare and then finding out that they've quite literally been blown up.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even like fathom something like that.
Yeah, and it was something that like I remember seeing on the news
Yeah.
like all the time, and I remember like very vividly seeing the front of the building and how it was just like gone.
Yeah.
But I knew very little about it, like all the details. Like I knew about Timothy McVeigh and everything like that, but I didn't know he had two like people that he was working with, and
Right.
how deep it went and all that kind of stuff. So it was interesting, for me to watch. Kind of like the John Benet Ramsey documentary watch. Like it's something you remember hearing about on the news, but you're so young, it's like you're not really caught up in it. So
yeah,
it was kind of interesting to get all those details and just see like how much of this building this bomb destroyed. Like it literally took out like a third of it.
Yeah.
Like it was just an insanely huge bombing.
Yeah.
In one of America's cities. Like it's still to this day, I think, the largest bombing on American soil. Like actual bombing. Like of course this is before 9/11, but that wasn't really a bombing. That was airplanes flying into buildings, but an actual bomb going off, destroying a building.
Yeah.
I still think it's the biggest.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, super sad for sure. But like you said, very interesting. And, I definitely recommend checking it out. I want to say it was like an hour and a half or something, 20 minutes.
It was pretty well done. I like the different perspectives. You had the news reporter lady, and you had the guy that was the paramedic on the grounds.
Yeah.
The doctor. Then the mom, like you talked about, and, the woman that was stuck inside the building, buried alive, like how she got out and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, so that's gonna do it for what we've been watching lately, and then let's get into some news.
All right. Are you ready for the first news story?
That is all you, honey.
All right, let me adjust where we're at. It's right here.
Okay.
So, first story is the CEO of Netflix says the Netflix platform is saving Hollywood, and theaters are an outmoded idea for most people.
Yeah, it's an interesting
outdated idea, outmoded, whatever. I think it's kind of the same thing.
It's kind of an interesting choice there. But
my first take on this is, okay, he's the CEO of Netflix. So of course he would say that.
Right.
It seems perfectly in line, right?
Yeah.
But it is kind of a shitty thing to say, I think. Especially in a time like this, like where theaters are struggling. It's like, I don't know.
Well, I think that a little bit of it might be some like retaliation, because I feel like Netflix gets a lot of crap.
Yeah.
And so there might be some like bitterness in that statement, possibly. Yeah. Even though they're like laughing all the way to the bank for sure. Like,
I mean, they're still benefiting off of these theatrically released films. Like a lot of movies will come to Netflix after they.
Yeah.
I mean, Sony's entire catalog goes to Netflix.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so he had, basically said, as far as it being theaters being an outmoded idea for most people, he was just talking about how a lot of people don't either don't have time to go to the theater, or just simply don't want to. They don't enjoy the theater experience anymore, which is largely due to the theaters themselves and the people that are going. They're the ones that are making us not want to go.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think what he's saying has any, legitimacy? Is there something here? Do you feel like there's going back?
Do I think that he's saving Hollywood? I mean, when you say saving Hollywood,
is ridiculous.
Yeah, like the theater is Hollywood. Like, but if you want to say that he's just like saying that Netflix is saving movies, I guess. I mean, like, say what you will about Netflix. I mean, I definitely think that they do have some, great stuff that they put out. Like, sure, it's mixed with a lot of garbage as well.
A lot of what we just talked about was we watched it all on Netflix.
Yeah.
Black Mirror, the Oklahoma City bombing, and One of Them Days we watched on Netflix.
Yeah. So I mean, I do think that, you know, obviously us, you know, being like, yeah, we like going to the theater sometime.
We've made
like
videos about this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I do think it's important that we have options at home for people who can't get to the theater, you know, for whatever reason it may be. We all have reasons why we can't, you know, make it as much as we would like. But yeah, I don't know, like saving, I mean, I feel like they're helping maybe keep people even interested in movies.
Maybe.
You know? Do I think that he's saving Hollywood? No.
But you have to ask yourself at what ends, you know, are they helping? Because they're not, yeah, they're producing some quality content, but most of it is kind of junk content.
Mm-hmm.
And half of it feels like it's made by like AI or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made without any kind of heart or soul or any kind of like cinematic quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like in some cases, not in every case, but in some cases. So it's like I feel like this is leading to us just getting crap,
Like
you know,
lower
like
quality.
if net like in his mind, like what he's saying is, okay, Netflix is going to single-handedly save Hollywood, and we're going to make it to where we put everything out of business. We're going to put movie theaters out. We're going to get rid of physical media. We're going to, you know, basically drive all the other streaming services out of business,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to be it. And when that happens, all you're going to get, like, say goodbye to movies, because all you're going to get is crap.
Yeah.
That they want you to watch that they're going to shove down your throat.
Yeah.
You know, options is always a good thing.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But I just think, like, in a lot of ways, he might be right. Like, from a certain, like, some things.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but, like, I feel like you need all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like he's in the movie business or TV business or whatever, and everybody should be supporting each other. Streaming, physical media, the theatrical experience, like, they should all recognize that they need each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can't just survive. The movie industry can't just survive on one or the other.
Right.
Like, it has to be all three working together. It always feels like everybody's at odds with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, collect physical media. I only watch stuff on physical. I don't stream.
Right.
Streaming people's like, physical media is stupid. Who wants to go to the theaters anymore?
Yeah.
You should only see every movie in theaters, like that crowd.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you have to recognize that all this stuff works together. It's all a part of the industry and the experience of watching film and TV.
Right.
And then you have cable as well. I mean, that's another thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. But, you know, like you said, we've talked about the theater experience several times, I feel like. And it's just, at least where we live, like, yeah, again, without like saying the same stuff over and over, we have kids, so it's hard just to get to the theater for that simple reason. But even if we go through the trouble of arranging childcare and we go to the theater, like, the theaters around here just aren't doing the best job at making the experience be this like must you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like must have experience, you know? Yeah. Like yesterday, for instance, we had quite a big chunk of the day together. And, you know, we had talked about going to see Sinners, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But it is, you know, like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something. And, you know, as you know, they show about 30 minutes of previews, you know, assuming you get there at the, you know, start time. And, you know, I just wasn't willing to pretty much give up half of our day together just to watch that movie. And so, you know, maybe that is just like a me thing, but you know, I kind of want to blame it on just like the theater experience. Like, you just don't know if there's going to be, well, for one, if a movie's that long, like, yeah, we've been hearing amazing things about this movie, but it's like, what if
you
it's,
say 2 hours and 20 minutes combined with 30 minutes of previews and commercials, and
yeah,
that's 3 hours in the theater.
right. And so it's like, okay, what if I don't like it and we've wasted half of our date?
Yeah.
What if, which that's a me problem, but like, what if there's technical issues? What if there's annoying people in the theater with us? It's like,
because I do really want to see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
That is starting to feel to me like how I felt with Oppenheimer. It's like I need to go see this in the
right.
theaters.
Yeah.
And
I'm getting there with you.
If
It's just
you don't go see it with me soon, what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I'm going to see it by myself.
Yeah.
But like it is a big commitment to go and sit in the theater for 3 hours and
It is.
not know what kind of experience you're going to
At
get.
least for us, because again, like if you're, he's talking about the theater's not, it's an outdated, thing for most people. Well, like unfortunately, we kind of fit into that group right now, this
Yeah.
phase of life that we're in. Obviously, we're all going through different phases of our life, at different times from one another. Like if you're listening to this right now, like your kids may be grown, and so now you can go out again and watch all the movies. Like there's no doubt that we would be going to the theaters more often if we didn't have to worry about childcare and stuff like that. But again, without going on a rant about the theaters too long, like I do feel like the theaters need to step up as far as like maintaining the theater, making it clean, making sure that everything's working properly. Like I feel like it's a little on the theaters as far as why this concept is, outdated for some people. Yeah. Like,
they 100% need an overhaul.
Yeah.
And I think I can speak for both of us when I say that just because we're saying that we're not too high on the theater right now, like we're not saying that we want Netflix to take over and be the only option.
No.
So it's like, yeah, I agree with him in a way, but also like I don't, I guess, ultimately like or agree with what he's saying,
right,
or what he's insinuating.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, and it's just kind of a shitty thing to say because it's like once the theaters die and physical media dies, because they're very against physical media too.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's another thing.
You have to understand that you're not going to last very long either. Once you start to wane people's incitement, and because all this stuff just feeds into each other.
Yeah.
One thing excites the other, and gets people riled up. And it's like once you get rid of all those options, you just have people mindlessly, watching Netflix content, and it's all just the same, becomes the same old crap over and over again.
Yeah.
Then people are just going to lose interest.
Yeah.
In it altogether.
Right. But, maybe a part of what he's saying too, though, is that if a lot of people can't make it to the theater, these movies do end up on his platform eventually. So maybe a part of it is him saying that,
I mean, some of them, I think as of right now that they only got access to the Sony movies.
Okay.
Maybe they got, but like HBO's got Warner Brothers and A24, and Peacock's got Universal, and Hulu's got Disney. So
it's so annoying. Yeah, but at the end of the day,
Netflix is almost completely reliant on their original stuff at this point.
Yeah. Well, I think, and you kind of just said this, but like Netflix also, I feel like has a lot of like missed opportunity, like as far as not putting out like any physical media of their stuff.
I just, I complain about it all the time to the point where I'm the only person I've ever heard say this. So if they do it, I'm going to expect a cut of the revenue, but they need some kind of physical media store,
but
website.
Do you think it's like, I think that it's probably just evident that they just don't think that there is a need for physical media. Like they don't, like, obviously if they think Hollywood, like if they're saving customers. Right. But obviously if they think that they're saving Hollywood, then they probably also don't think that they need to be putting out physical media. Like
my argument is that the people that's going to collect this stuff, they're not going to subscribe to your streaming service anyway, because they're against you and the fact that you're not putting the stuff out on physical. I think the vast majority of them. And I think that you could get more people to sign up if you put stuff out on physical and make more fans that way. And also your hardcore fans that love your shows and stuff would just collect it because they love it. You know, like Stranger Things, you could do so many different box sets. People would buy every single one. Like it's Stranger Things is like the Taylor Swift TV series.
I don't know
like,
that
they would collect everything.
I'm kind of conflicted though, because it's like they have put out
They put out Stranger Things season 1 and 2 at Target. They were Target exclusives, and they were in VHS tapes, and they sold like hotcakes.
Well, I'm just wondering though, like they're not dumb, you know what I mean? So it's like
they probably ran
to them, are they they're just like, no, that's like baby numbers, like that's just not worth it to us.
I just don't get it. I don't know. To me, it's like you could sell this stuff like physical media. There's all these boutique releases now. You could sell this stuff for like $60-$70 and they would sell millions of copies. Like to me, it's just a no-brainer, but they got the successful business. I don't. So I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of like, do you think that that's kind of like an
I mean, you look at Amazon Prime, they're putting out a 4K steelbook of Fallout season 1.
Yeah.
You know, and that's Warner Brothers that's distributing it. It's going, and they're going to sell it for $60. People are going to buy it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of streaming services, Disney Plus is putting out their shows on physical.
Yeah.
It's just
but
Netflix.
Do you think that it's kind of like admirable? That word's kind of hard to say. That
they're so true to the streaming model.
Just that they might think that would give them a lot of money, but they still don't care to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even know if they're making.
I guess they want to save their money for the like 320 million.
I still don't even know if they're profiting yet. Like maybe they are, but there was word a long time ago that they were like it's so many millions of dollars in debt.
Yeah.
And that's just not. They were putting all their money into original content, and the idea was they're going to sell so many subscriptions and eventually turn a profit. But you can only have so many people sign up. There's only so many people in the world to be able to sign up to your streaming service.
Right.
I don't know. I just think that eventually they should look for other avenues to make money, and like a merch store and physical media store selling special editions of you. That just seems like a no-brainer to me.
Well, maybe they're working on it. You never know.
I hope so. And I hope it's because of me and I get a little cut. I should.
All right. So speaking of Hollywood and theaters and movies, said we were going to talk about Sinners. We're going to talk about Sinners.
Sinners, yeah, the box office. Sinners, and of course we're talking about this on Sunday. This could be more tomorrow, could be less, but Sinners sinks teeth into huge $45 million. Huge $45 million.
It starts,
and then it says Revenge of the Sith edges past Accountant 2. Wow, I didn't see that. But down at the bottom it says Ryan Coogler's rule-defying Sinners boasts the smallest second weekend drop for any film opening north of 40 million since 2009's Avatar.
Wow.
And the smallest ever for an R-rated horror pick. I mean, that's pretty incredible, honestly. Because it made, I think, 48 million last week, and then this week it dropped 45. It dropped to 45.
Mm-hmm.
So that just tells you that like this movie's got a lot of word of mouth, people seeing it, and it's growing.
Yeah.
I think it'll drop a little bit more next weekend, but it might have a drop that's even less.
Yeah.
And this is like really reminiscent of Black Panther, because when Ryan Coogler put that out, it had really small drops, and it was like #1 for I think 6 weeks in a row. So he's just got that it factor, I guess.
So
with his movies.
Do you think that why do you think this movie has done well? Do you think it's because of word of mouth? Do you think it's like the promotion?
I think it's almost entirely word of mouth, because it's an original film. So it's like, it's not something that people recognize.
Yeah.
You know, like it has to be promoted by other people, influencers, people, just word on the street, word at the office, whatever. People, I saw this movie over the weekend. Like that kind of stuff's real.
Yeah.
So
I do feel like there's been a lot of promotion.
Yeah.
I mean, on my Instagram page.
Now the movie cost $90 million. So I mean, I think it's going to take a little bit to make its money back, but I think it will turn a profit.
Yeah.
I think it will. And apparently Ryan Coogler has like the rights to this movie. Like he signed a deal with Warner Brothers that he retains the rights to the film
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, which is a different kind of deal.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that I'm not, like, I know I mentioned that, like, I'm getting there with you about wanting to go see it in the theater or whatever. But I'm still not quite convinced that I'm gonna like it like everyone else seems to be
It's
liking
incredibly
it.
hyped at this point, so the potential to be
Well,
let down is pretty high.
it's like I don't wanna like always like talk about that. I feel like we talk about like things being overrated and stuff a lot. And then being just like, and then us always just being like, I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you just have to let go
Yeah.
and allow yourself to be a part of the hype.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, I like, even if I take that out of the equation, like everyone saying that it's so good, um, like, I don't know. I'm just not quite sure that it's gonna be like my just my cup of
I wasn't
tea.
sure
You
either.
know what I
That's why I
mean?
didn't push it too much yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I felt like we could get an hour into the movie and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Shuffling in your seat. So I'd almost want to just rather go see it by myself.
Right.
Because I feel like it will be my kind of movie.
You think?
I think so.
You think?
Yeah.
Um,
From what I understand, it's, I don't want to spoil anything, but that's just kind of what I heard. But it's basically like, you know, kind of a historical type of period piece movie for like the
right,
first
like it's giving me like Nosferatu.
hour and a half, and then it turns into a vampire movie in the
Right.
final act.
Yeah.
So it's not like all the way through vampire.
Yeah.
Which kind of reminds me of From Dusk Till Dawn, which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still, I like you said, I mean, you know me well. So
Yeah.
I'm still not like 100% sold, but so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah.
Great for the movie. I'm happy it's doing well because that shows that there's still some life and power.
It's like I don't want to say
in the
it,
box office,
but it's kind of giving me like Honora vibes as far as like the promotional stuff and just like hype everywhere.
I think it'll be better than Honora.
Yeah.
Honora was a piece of shit, so I'm sorry it was.
So yeah, I don't know. Let us know, guys. Have you seen Sinners? Is it worth it?
And I still like, I didn't love Wakanda Forever, but it was a well done movie.
Yeah.
And I don't really blame Ryan Coogler because he lost his star. So it's like, you know, what are you gonna do?
Right.
But I haven't seen a bad Ryan Coogler movie. You know, he did Creed, he did the first Black Panther, he did a movie called Fruitvale Station that I still need to watch. But
I know what I wanted to say really quickly though. Why do you feel like this movie needs to be seen in the theater?
Well, it was shots. I mean, we don't have IMAX, but it was shot on IMAX, and it was I don't know if it was shot on 70 millimeter or not. It might have been, but it is one of those like big, grand, like theatrical. It's kind of like Oppenheimer. Like he actually got Christopher Nolan's.
I saw that.
Like input, like
Yeah.
on what to do and advice. So he did shoot it. He probably shot it on film too. Again, I don't know this for a fact, but it does feel like one of those big, like large scope period piece movies that needs to be seen on a theater.
Gotcha.
I just want to see it.
Yeah, I'm just
like in the theater. I got that feel, you know, kind of like Terrifier 3 and also Oppenheimer. I rarely get it.
Yeah.
But I just got that itch to see it.
I got you. I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, I would hate to like bring you down, you know.
Well, I would want you to go with me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you know.
I don't want to steal your joy. But anyway, okay. So what else do we got here?
We've got a poster for Badlands. Is it called Predator Badlands?
Yeah, Predator Badlands.
Interesting that they're using the Predator name when they didn't use it for Prey. You know, they didn't call it Predator Prey. They just called it Prey. And now this is Predator Badlands. And also, why wouldn't they use Prey Badlands? I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Weird branding, but yeah, I think this is going to be in theaters, not going to be on Hulu.
Maybe they like want more people to be like, hey, this is a Predator movie.
I know. Would you think they'd be like that with the last one? But I guess they weren't concerned about it because they were putting it on streaming. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, this is getting a theatrical release. And I mean, pretty much only care about this movie because Elle Fanning is in it.
Yeah.
I love her, and so I'm not quite sure though that I'm going to enjoy her character in this.
I did not watch the trailer. You did.
I did. And I mean it like she's not like in it a ton or whatever in the trailer that I saw. Got an image of her there. Her like eyes roll back or something. That's why her eyes look like that. Yeah, I really don't know much about it. I do know that this is set like way in the future.
Well, she's something.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's like an alien herself or what. Again, I didn't watch the trailer.
Well, from what I gather, I'm pretty sure she's like good. She's not like a villain or anything.
She's going to be the one to fight the Predator. I'm assuming.
Well, I don't know though, because like from the vibe I got, like there's a so you've got an image that you can show. I don't know if you picked it because have you heard some people talking about the way that he looked?
Are you ready for me to bring that up? I was going to say this is the only concerning thing to me. That doesn't look great.
Okay, so hear me out. So this is set in the future, okay? And they're basically saying that the Predator form, okay, like there's more than one of them.
Yeah.
And they're basically becoming more human. Okay. So they have more human features. It's like they're evolving.
Okay.
Less predator
looking.
Maybe
they mated with a human. Is that what happened?
Possibly. And so I think that's why we're seeing the shift in the look of this predator here.
So Elle Fanning might be the daughter of this predator.
I don't know. But from what I get, and maybe I just completely missed it here. You'll have to let me know. But I gather that this guy or whatever is not bad.
Okay. Well, you saw the trailer. I didn't. He looks kind of mean to me.
Because she says something to him, but I don't know. Like to me, I got the vibe that they like team up, okay, and deal with some other bad guys or whatever.
Well, what other bad guys are there? Xenomorphs.
I don't know, but like I said, as you can see, like I think he has like they almost look like dreads.
Well, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know. That's what from other comments that I've read and stuff like that, people are basically justifying the look of it by just saying that this is like way in the future and that the predator, they have evolved and they are starting to look more human and have more human characteristics, like physically and like mentally.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to be one of those snobs that talks about how awful it looks. Okay. I'm not there with you. So.
Yeah. I don't think it looks great, but at the same time, I'm going to judge it in the movie itself when I see it. I liked Prey enough to want to check this one out. I think Dan Trachtenberg directed this, and I believe he directed 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think that's what he directed. And he also directed the last Prey movie. But yeah, it could be good, I don't know if we'll see it in the theaters, but who knows? Yeah. Maybe we will. All right, let's
got a couple more here and then we'll wrap it up.
Bring this back because when I enhance it, it enhances everything. Going back to a streaming conversation, Madam Web allegedly beat Deadpool and Wolverine in streaming viewership.
Okay, I can wrap this up real quick for us. I think this is simply because people wanted to see how bad Madam Web was.
Yeah, and this is allegedly.
Right.
So there's, I forget what it's called, but there's some kind of company or something that puts out, like acquires all the streaming numbers and things like that and puts it out.
Yeah.
And that's what this comes from. To me, this makes perfect sense. I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody went to see Deadpool and Wolverine in the theater.
Right.
So when it was available to stream, of course, there was fewer
that
watched it on Disney Plus because they had already seen it maybe 2-3 times in the theater.
Right.
Nobody saw Madam Web in the theater.
Right.
Nobody wanted to waste their money.
Yeah.
So they saw it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes perfect sense. To me. So
there you go.
But yeah, I just thought it was
And
interesting.
like I said, it got so much hate for being terrible, and I do feel like us, people were interested to see how terrible it really was.
Yeah, so. I agree. And lastly, we've got Tremors creators win back script rights. Kevin Bacon could return for a new installment of Tremors.
Oh my, I'm down.
Are you down for a new? Because look,
I love Tremors.
Tremors came out with Kevin Bacon. I think the second one went to theaters. The first and the second one were in theaters.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's been straight to video. And there's 7 Tremors movies.
Dang.
And I think the last one that came out was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's an active franchise, but the prospect of having Kevin Bacon come back as his character, even though you can't have Fred Ward because he passed away recently, but having Kevin Bacon come back and kind of like a Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween 2018 situation.
I'm down for it, and this would definitely be a, obviously it might depend on like once the.
I think you should get Reba McEntire back as well.
Right.
She wouldn't come back for Tremors 2. Neither would Kevin Bacon. So bring them both back.
I think if it happens and we get when the trailer comes out or whatever, unless it's like god awful or something, I feel like this would definitely be a theater movie for me, and I feel like I'd put it up there with seeing like Twisters.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they'd have to do. They could do a little. They can do a little CGI, but they got to do practical effects.
Yeah.
They got to make it look legit. Put a little money into it, and yeah, I think it could.
I think it could be fun. I think it could be fun.
Well, I mean, you got Kevin Bacon back. I'm sure Michael Goss would come back as well. He's been in every single Tremors sequel. He's the only one that comes back. Yeah. So I'm sure he would come back to do this one.
Yeah.
And just, get rid of all the sequels.
Give us the new Gremlins,
New Gremlins, new Tremors. Nothing's sacred anymore.
Let's give us the Beetlejuice 3, please make it better than 2. Please reclaim.
I don't even know if I want to watch that, to be honest.
Please.
I think I'm done.
Please redeem yourself. Okay, you ruined Beetlejuice for me.
I'm tapping out. I don't want, I already don't like the original Beetlejuice as much as I used to because of it. So it's like I don't want to completely ruin it.
You think? I don't know.
Yeah, it would.
All right, that's gonna do it for episode 10. We did it. High five.
We did it.
Episode 10.
We did it.
Yeah, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. Hopefully we'll be back next week for episode 11. Be on the lookout again for our little thrifting vlog and our episode 1 through 3 of The Last of Us review.
Yep.
And
I think next week, just going to throw out this idea since it's the beginning of May.
Okay.
We'll be in the summer movie season. Maybe we can talk about the upcoming summer movies we're excited for.
For the next episode? Yeah, it's a good idea.
I think we can do that.
All right, sounds good.
But yeah, thank you all so much for watching and like and comment and everything she just said. I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
And we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.